This video takes a slightly different approach. Instead of the usual format, it presents a sit-down discussion that explores an intriguing question. Is Rockstar's marketing for GTA 6 actually ineffective? This topic has sparked a significant debate, with the community nearly evenly divided. What makes it particularly compelling is that Rockstar appears to be in a genuine no-win situation. When silence is maintained, accusations of laziness or secrecy arise. When new information is released, every detail is scrutinized, criticized, and dissected. Regardless of the approach, dissatisfaction seems inevitable. The discussion examines both sides of the argument as objectively as possible. It reviews Rockstar's marketing strategies for previous titles, considers insights from an industry insider, and highlights a recent move by Sony that directly relates to this conversation. Ultimately, the question is left open, as it remains a complex issue without a clear or definitive answer. Let's start with the optimistic perspective, because this is where many people seem to stand. The argument is straightforward. Rockstar's marketing campaign for GTA 6 hasn't truly begun yet. So far, we've only seen a handful of reveals, including a couple of trailers, the official key art, and a batch of screenshots released alongside the pre-order announcement. Supporters of this view argue that this isn't the full marketing campaign, it's simply the opening act. According to this perspective, the major promotional push is still ahead. The television commercials, the gameplay showcase, the extensive media coverage, and the broader advertising campaign have yet to arrive. There's also a solid reason for believing that. Take-Two CEO has publicly stated that the marketing campaign is expected to ramp up during the summer. Even if someone argues that marketing has already started, supporters of this view believe the biggest and most impactful reveals are still to come. From that perspective, there hasn't been a third trailer or an in-depth gameplay presentation yet, so calling the entire marketing campaign a failure at this stage would be like judging a movie based only on its first teaser. The main event hasn't arrived, making it difficult to reach a fair conclusion. That's the optimistic viewpoint, and there's certainly a reasonable case to be made for it. Now let's look at the other side just as fairly, because this group raises some legitimate concerns as well. Their argument is simple. This is getting a little frustrating. We probably should have seen a third trailer by now. Their timeline makes sense too. GTA 6 was originally expected to launch in 2025 before being delayed, yet fans haven't received a substantial new trailer or a detailed gameplay reveal since then. Trailer 2 was released back in May 2025, which means the most recent full trailer for GTA 6 is now more than a year old. For many fans, that's where the biggest concern begins. The main criticism from this perspective is straightforward. Rockstar is now asking players to pre-order the game, with the standard edition priced at $80 and the ultimate edition at $100. Naturally, some people are asking, why should I commit my money before I've seen a more up-to-date look at how the game actually plays? That's a question many believe is completely reasonable. To this group, the order of events feels backwards. They're being asked to pay first while the detailed gameplay showcase is still missing. That frustration is understandable, especially after years of high-profile game launches where marketing created huge expectations that the final product struggled to meet. Because of that history, many fans feel it's fair to be cautious and want a proper gameplay presentation before spending premium prices. Both sides make valid arguments, and that's exactly why this has become such an interesting debate. Before going any further, it's important to look at Rockstar's history because the context matters. Their past marketing campaigns reveal a fairly consistent pattern that helps put today's discussion into perspective. Let's go back to GTA 5. Rockstar officially announced the game in October 2011 with little more than a post on social media. The first trailer followed in November 2011, but after that, the studio went almost completely quiet for about a year. Around 9 months later, fans received just 2 new screenshots, and Trailer 2 didn't arrive until November 2012. Even then, GTA V was eventually delayed from its original spring 2013 release window to September 17, 2013, showing that long periods of silence were already part of Rockstar's approach. The official cover art for GTA V was revealed in April 2013, and the character trailers were released that same month. The first major gameplay showcase didn't arrive until July 2013, only a few months before launch. Most of the large-scale marketing campaign, including the biggest promotional push, took place during those final months leading up to release. When you look at the full timeline, it's clear that GTA V's marketing campaign didn't truly shift into high gear until roughly the last 4 months before launch. Everything before then was carefully spaced out, with Rockstar taking a slow and deliberate approach. The same pattern can be seen with Red Dead Redemption 2. The game was announced in October 2016 but didn't launch until October 2018, with roughly a year separating its first and second trailers. GTA 4 followed a similarly patient marketing strategy before its 2008 release, showing that this measured approach has been a consistent part of Rockstar's playbook for years. This measured approach is simply how Rockstar has operated for years. The studio tends to move slowly, release information carefully, and allow anticipation to build between major announcements. That's why supporters of the optimistic viewpoint argue that the biggest phase of the marketing campaign hasn't even begun yet, and Rockstar's history gives that argument real credibility. Now, I want to bring in an interesting perspective from someone well known in the community because it adds valuable context to this discussion. The comments come from Reese Riley, better known as Kiwi Talks. He's interviewed numerous former Rockstar employees and other developers across the gaming industry. Before I share his thoughts, it's important to point out one thing. Just as he has, this is his own speculation. He has made it clear that Rockstar hasn't shared its marketing plans with him, but here's how he sees the situation. Reese Riley has said he's seen many people describe GTA 6's marketing as ineffective, but he believes the campaign hasn't truly begun yet. His reasoning is straightforward. When you're preparing to launch what could become one of the biggest entertainment releases ever, spreading the marketing over time is likely the smarter strategy, rather than revealing everything at once. One point he made especially stood out. He noted that Rockstar generated enormous attention simply by revealing the game's official cover art. Just that single reveal dominated headlines and online discussions. When a studio has that level of influence, even small updates can create massive waves of excitement every time they're released. Interestingly, we just saw a similar strategy play out in real time, which brings us to what Sony recently did. It appears that the first phase of Sony's GTA 6 marketing campaign has officially come to an end. Around June 24th and June 25th, just as pre-orders opened, Sony heavily promoted the game across its PlayStation platforms. The PlayStation app icon received a complete Vice City-inspired makeover, featuring the signature pink and purple color scheme along with the familiar sunset and palm tree aesthetic. The PS5 home screen and PlayStation Store were also updated with GTA 6 branding, and the Plays Best on PS5 messaging was prominently displayed throughout the platform. For a short time, GTA 6 was impossible to miss. Now, about a week later, those promotional elements have been removed. The app icon has returned to its standard blue design, PlayStation's social media banners have been updated, and the spotlight has shifted to other titles, including NBA 2K26. I've seen some speculation suggesting Sony removed the campaign because of the discussion surrounding the physical disc situation. While that's one theory circulating online, there's no confirmed evidence to support that explanation. A much more likely possibility, and one that fits everything we've discussed so far, is that this was simply a planned, time-limited marketing push. Rather than keeping the promotion active indefinitely, Sony appears to have delivered a concentrated burst of attention before stepping back, leaving room for the next major announcements. The strategy is fairly straightforward. Sony highlights the GTA 6 branding during the key pre-order period, generates a major surge of attention, encourages purchases while interest is at its highest, and then scales the campaign back once that promotional window has passed. It's similar to a retailer creating a large display for a seasonal sale and removing it after the promotion ends. Most people wouldn't. Viewed from that perspective, this doesn't necessarily signal anything negative. The pre-order campaign served its purpose, and Sony has now shifted its focus back to other titles until the next major GTAVI marketing phase begins. If anything, it's a strong, real-world example of the carefully timed, incremental marketing strategy that Reese Riley described, suggesting there are likely more announcements still to come. Expect things to ramp back up as we get closer to November, likely with a much bigger branding wave the next time around. To really understand where things stand, it helps to place GTA 6 on a timeline using GTA 5 as a reference point. With GTA 6 set to launch on November 19, 2026, and Rockstar historically ramping up marketing in the final 4 months, we'd expect the major push to begin around now and carry through the fall. That would include things like Trailer 3, a full gameplay reveal, and widespread TV spots leading right up to release. By that comparison, everything seems to be lining up pretty closely, maybe even right on the edge of that major marketing surge. This also matches what Take-Two hinted at with their summer marketing comments, along with the earlier Sony branding cycle. In many ways, it feels like the first wave has wrapped and the next phase is about to begin. That said, GTA 6 hasn't followed a perfectly smooth path. The delay out of 2025, the long gap since the last major trailer, and the early rollout of pre-orders and pricing all make this situation a bit different. So while Rockstar may still be following its usual patient strategy, it's understandable why some fans feel more restless this time around. When I look at this debate, I don't think there's a simple right or wrong answer, and that's what makes it so interesting. On one hand, it's easy to understand why many fans remain confident. Rockstar has followed this same marketing approach for years, moving slowly, revealing information in carefully timed stages, and then delivering a major promotional push closer to launch. The recent Sony branding campaign is a good example of that strategy in action. It created a burst of attention during the pre-order period before quietly stepping aside. At the same time, I also understand the concerns from those who are frustrated. If more than a year has passed since the last major trailer and pre-orders for premium editions are already available, it's completely understandable that some people would want a more detailed look at the game before making a purchase. Both perspectives raise valid points, which is exactly why this discussion has become so divided. I also know that any opinion on Rockstar tends to spark strong reactions. If I acknowledge the reasoning behind the company's strategy, some viewers will inevitably assume I'm defending it. If I'm critical, others will say I'm being unfair. That's not really the goal here. I'm not trying to promote Rockstar or criticize it for the sake of it. My goal is simply to present both sides of a genuinely interesting debate as fairly as possible, because this is one of those rare discussions where each perspective has a reasonable case to make. Before we wrap up this part, there's another angle worth considering. Rockstar has always been known for controlling its narrative very carefully, often choosing silence over constant updates. That approach has worked in the past, but the gaming landscape has changed significantly, with players now expecting more frequent communication and transparency from developers. At the same time, the sheer scale and ambition of GTA 6 could justify the extended quiet period. If Rockstar is aiming to deliver something truly groundbreaking, it might make sense that they're taking extra time to ensure everything is polished before revealing more. Still, that doesn't completely eliminate the growing curiosity among fans who are eager for even the slightest glimpse of what's coming next. So while opinions remain divided, one thing is clear: the anticipation surrounding GTA 6 hasn't faded, it's only becoming more intense with each passing day. This is one of those topics where there isn't a single clear answer, and that's exactly what makes it so interesting to talk about. Do you think GTA 6's marketing has been underwhelming so far, or do you believe Rockstar is simply sticking to the same slow, calculated approach that has proven successful time and time again? There are strong arguments on both sides, and I genuinely love to hear what you think. Be sure to share your thoughts, opinions, and theories in the comments below. I'll be reading through them and jumping into the conversation with you. If you enjoyed this video and found the discussion interesting, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep making content like this. And if you know someone else who would enjoy this topic, feel free to share the video with them as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.